Yeah.
And at this moment, I think you know definitely what in Russia the high risk of possibility of second mobilization. And of course, I'm sure it will happen. Some people say it will be like 500 um, thousands people will be mobilized. And what do you think about this? Is it possible, or it's just an it will happen or not?
I think it will happen. I don't know why they need to get rid of men in Russia, but it seems that that's what they are doing. Just they sent 300,000, and still like a lot of them are lost. I mean, I heard that they didn't even find their bodies. I don't know what they are doing with them. I mean, it's crazy. So a lot of people get lost. A lot of people like come back, like I don't know, in the grave. I mean, in the dead. A lot of people, I mean, are hurt. I mean, it's crazy, and why they did not they need more. And after like learning about this situation so much, I still don't get it. Why they need so much people? I mean, it's crazy. We are in 2023. Why we need a war at all?
Yeah, it is difficult to understand, especially if not you don't know why people for what people must die for just territory, which pretty often in Russia people lives in how to say in poverty. Majority of Russians, like let's say like 70% or 60%. Nobody knows for sure. But I'm sure like millions of people lives in poverty, and why they must die, especially Russia right now has demographic problems for during decades. And it's very interesting. I mean, what do you think will happen next? I mean, about mobilization, it will happen, you say this, yeah, but it will happen like
More likely.
when and how many people do you think will be mobilized, drafted?
Just like it was like said, 500,000 or even more. I mean, I see them need to send those people away. I don't know, maybe to make I don't know. Maybe they have another plan, like a crazy plan. Because when a lot of men will leave Russia, there will be no people to protect older people, no people to protect women, no people to protect who will like protect them. So they will be. I mean, all the country will be weaker, and they will like make crazy laws and crazy things. I mean, it will be just worse, more censorship, less freedom. I mean, maybe that's the reason why they need to get rid from men, because less men, like for them, maybe they think less men, less trouble, because they know that they are not doing well, and all those people they can go against them, and what they should do, so they just get rid of them. I mean, maybe that's what they are planning to do. They are crazy. I mean. Hmm.
And for me,
Yeah.
it's interesting at this moment, perspectives in Russia. What do you think? It will be like a more militarization and like this. It's already, of course, happening. But anyway, it's interesting to hear from you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they are doing crazy things. I mean, it
Yeah.
will be more strict. It's already like a military. I mean, country and police country. They have a lot of. I heard that they have like the percent of police is like very high, depending on how other countries. For example, in other countries, let's say it's just an example. They have like, I don't remember the sum exactly, but they say like in other countries they have like about 2-3% of population are policemen, but in Russia they have like 10% or 15%. I mean, they have like more percent of police, like comparing to other countries.
And let's talk about also immigrants. how difficult for how many people do you think flee from Russia right now? Because
Oh,
moment I heard different like two diverse opinion. What do you think?
I think a lot of people. I mean, especially like they they start living step by step. They hear, for example, the first mobilization. Of course, they heard about it, and there are like people who left. I mean, after all the situation started, when the sanctions started. I mean, even not only the sanctions, but like just people who weren't agree with the regime, they left like in the beginning when it's all started in 24 of February, and even before that, like the economic situation wasn't like that stable. People were leaving. So before that event, people were leaving. After that event, people also start leaving. A lot of people, they understand that they will have like the country will have a lot of sanctions. A lot of people like lost their businesses or their relation with other, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
countries, and of course they start leaving after the event. But after a while, it became like quieter. Less people start leaving because they started, I mean, I don't know, to calm down everything. But anyway, like people didn't like and they start leaving. But when they heard about like the mobilization, they start leaving again a lot. And after a while, they also like calmed down the situation. Less people start leaving, and
hmm,
now will with the second mobilization, more people will leave. I mean, it will be like this. I think it will be the third wave, the fourth wave. I mean,
yeah,
it's
yes.
crazy. It will be, I mean, for years maybe.
Yeah, it will be for years. I'm sure about this. And at this moment, I was reading like before our live stream, like 1,500,000 like left already, and
Oh,
it was before mobilization, and
yeah.
it was before because mobilization started like on September.
Hmm.
It is number of people who left Russia when war started. But
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now I have a lot of questions because Russia doesn't have this statistic at all. They don't want to show maybe people what nobody wants to live in Russia. It's what I see.
Yeah, yeah. Even if you will find statistics, they will not tell that a lot of people left or want to leave.
And at this moment, I was talking before in live stream. I was thinking, what if this war will continue? There high possibility what Russia will fall apart. What do you think about this? Is it possible or not? Like Russia has 21 national republics. 21.
Yeah.
If this war will be longer, it means what maybe after 5 years, if if this war will continue, is it possible that Russia will fall apart or not?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, it's already like kind of falling because most of those countries or who were like ally, they are not that. I mean, that friendly now, and a lot
Yeah.
of people. I mean, I don't know. You never know what happened, but I mean, most people who are leaving to those countries, they will just expose what's happening in Russia. They will expose more stuff, more truth about it, and and more people, more countries maybe will not be like allies. I mean, it's crazy, and it's not only in these matters, but it could be like it can affect the economical state
Mhm.
and everything, all
Yeah,
the fields in Russia.
completely agree again. As always, here difficult to disagree when you see how many people. Country without people, it is not country. It is just territory. It is territory where just okay. I understand this, and it is so sad. It is so sad what is happening right now. Russia is falling apart. I want to say to you, what in the forest of Russia, few years ago, we already had these protests. These protests was in city Khabarovsk. The city is,
Yeah, I know
yeah.
about that. Yes.
I was on these protests before. I was there
Oh,
like because I'm from far east of Russia. I'm from Siberia.
oh,
It is, yeah, and
I
that's why
see.
I was in these protests in Khabarovsk. And
Oh, so
when, yeah, yeah,
I mean, you know about the situation. Like they say that they were protesting because a lot of Chinese thing. I mean, a lot of woods going to China. A lot of. I mean, China is benefiting from the Russian land, something like that.
yes. China renting this land. China already has this land already. In 2000s, China started to rent this land for rice fields, and they were growing these rice on Primorsky region, and it was like pretty like people was working on Chinese even 20 years ago because
Mhm.
there was not factories. Russia didn't have job, but at least Russians didn't have job. Alcoholism was everywhere, and
Mm.
it's like, yeah, and at this moment, of course, China already has buying everything for nothing from far east of Russia. Russians, they like lives in poverty in far east of Russia, and that's why I'm sure what it will be if Russia will fall apart, and it's already started. We see these protests. It will begin from far east of Russia, or maybe also from Dagestan Republic, from Chechnya,
They
because
already have had protests like a few months ago because I heard that most people who are taking to the war with mobilization they are from like the republic like Dagestan and others, and they are like protesting against this. They don't want their people to go.
yeah, for me it's interesting. Did you participate before in protests in Russia, or because you have family, you was trying to avoid these
Uh,
events?
you
Because
can say the thing that I did uh, the last years. I was very active in TikTok. I was sharing a lot of I mean, you can say anti-government content.
yeah,
And since you said that by yourself that Chinese people are like China is like kind of collaborating with Russia. So and
yeah,
TikTok is Chinese. So I was sharing a lot of kind of like a lot of things about like the truth, the things that happened with how Putin get to the power, how all this
yeah,
is working. I mean, all the things I was sharing them for. I was making like collaboration, like in TikTok they have like the collaboration video. You can make from one side what your face or something like that. You write something, and from the other side you can just share the video that you watched. And I was sharing those videos for like about more than a year or something like that,
mhm.
and they blocked my account. So that's what,
Wow,
yeah, that's the protest that I
you
had, and they
must be
had like,
dangerous. If
yeah,
they
I
block your account, you're definitely dangerous. Definitely.
yeah, 2000 more than 2000 followers I had in TikTok, and they just blocked my account. Just they removed all the content and they blocked it. That was
Oh,
crazy.
so and it's so I can imagine. Of course, they're like clearing this information space. Those people who disagree, they like just trying them to shut up, I would say, and as a result, of course, they're creating this information bubble, where they live,
Yeah.
and everybody's saying only yes, yes, yes to them. maybe.
You know what I am thinking about? I mean, all this situation, like a lot of people, nice people in Russia were hidden. Like nobody knew about them. Like you, I mean, Konstantin, me, I don't know, Sergey, and I mean, Ivan sanctioned. I mean, a lot of people they were like, just hidden in Russia. They were like in like kind of suppressed, and they didn't realize themselves. And when this thing happened and they left,
Yeah.
they start realizing themselves. They start being themselves, and I mean, it's like one of the positive thing that's happening like now. Like people like you maybe or me, maybe nobody will hear about us. And then I mean, for example, I had like 600 subscribers and my YouTube channel wasn't like active. And then when I left, like we start being all in touch and our channels start growing and a lot of people know about us. It's, I mean, it's one of the positive things.
Yes, it is positive. Of course, it is positive. But I'm thinking more about bad side of this war because, of course, those people who was hidden, how living and was not noticed in Russia, they now more noticed. But more, I think, of course, about, and I believe you too, about Ukrainians because every day be bombarding, every day living and be afraid to go outside, living in basements. It is terrible because I'm sure, like, I saw these pictures on YouTube, on the internet. You can find this pretty easy how destroyed this city, eastern part of Ukraine, completely destroyed. There nothing left, nothing. It is worse than in Syria right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
And
but
that's why, of course, you we have in a lot of ways we must talk responsibility what is happening, responsibility. We have this, while we have this freedom of speech, example me in the USA, I must talk about this. And of course I'm sure that's why you're talking too, because people dying.
yeah, but I mean that like people in all the world they will realize that the fault is not in people themselves. It's not in Russians themselves because there are like a lot of good Russians. They are exposed now, and they still there are in the country good Russians. I mean, the problem is not in them. Like the good Russians are like hostages, like in their own country, and they can't do anything about the situation. I mean, the ones who to blame is the politicians who are doing all this. And if more people will think about that, and maybe something will change, and they will, I mean, they will stop them somehow. I don't know how, but they will stop them exactly for doing what they are doing.
Yes, I completely agree with you. It is very, nobody knows, to be honest, what will happen next. And yeah, but also I know what, and you know, people who is fleeing in from Russia, they understanding what Russia is falling apart. And I was feeling this when I was in Russia, and it's so it is tragedy because people, ordinary people, they're suffering. That's like ordinary people, like dying for nothing and lives in poverty.
Yeah, as I told you, they are like sending more and more men to Russian to from Russia to the war. Maybe they are planning for something even worse.
And I know what Russian government was talking about closing border. Do you think it will close soon, or it will
Mm,
not close at all, or maybe your
they,
opinion?
they may close it when it will be very hot. I mean, the situation is not that hard because they don't have attacks in Russian territories. But in the future, they will have like maybe in the third and in the fourth wave, maybe in by the end of this year or in the summer or something like that. Like a lot of attacks will be. They will announce the military situation, how they call it, like военное положение, the military
Military, yes,
situation, maybe the
like
military situation. And when they will announce this, and I think they are not announcing this, maybe. Okay, they are coming after me. So when they will announce this, I mean, they will they are not announcing the military situation yet because they still maybe have enough men who stay in Russia,
yeah,
who are still there, and they may afraid of them. They maybe do something or turn against them when they will mobilize enough, maybe 2 million, 3 million. I don't know how many million they are planning to mobilize into the future.
yeah,
In that situation, and there will be a lot of attacks maybe in the Russian territories. And in that situation, I think they will announce the military situation that they will close all the borders.
but also I think what they must also declare war. It must be official war, like and then they can close border, like you said, because at this moment they started mobilization, but they didn't announce like war. They said it is special military operation. And
Yeah, they were saying all the time the best special military operation. Recently, I saw one video where Putin said the word war,
yeah,
and they were like talking. They are not allowing to say to all Russian to say the word war, but the president said the word war. So they kind of
and he must be
particularly
judged.
announced
He must
that.
be sent to prison. Putin must be sent to prison just only for saying war. But also, of course, he must be sent to prison just he started this war. Because of him, how many people died? I don't
I think
know.
it's a big group of people. It's not only him. I mean, a lot of people are doing this crazy thing. A lot of
Yeah, it is.
politicians. Yeah, all those who are supporting him, they are doing this with him. I mean,
Yes,
he can't
and
do all this alone.
like there was Nazis in Germany. They were persecuted after many years. And it will happen, of course, with Russian government. I'm sure about this completely.